we're back with another episode of your favorite podcast, Untitled. And today we're going to talk about J Dilla and Metro Boomin for our music topic. And then we'll slide into issues with homelessness in America and education. And then we'll wrap it up with some meditation.
Stay tuned.
Okay. What she said. But anyway, so why do you feel like Metro Boomin is one of the most influential producers?
I mean, because he basically changed the sound of the entire Atlanta, honestly. He came in at a young age, 11th grade.
I know, that's crazy. It was that young, and he's like our age right now.
Right. Like,
what are we doing?
People really be out here getting
Yes,
it.
we gotta get on now, ASAP.
Right. He lived in St. Louis, and his mom used to drive him all the way to Atlanta like 3 times a week.
Really? Yes, she believed in my
Oh,
guy.
man, she a real one.
That's a good thing, because look at him now.
Right.
Producing for everybody in Atlanta.
Yes. People be thinking that he's from Atlanta.
I thought that too until
I
you
know.
told me.
I did, so I read it, I was like, St. Louis.
Yeah.
But anywho, he started working with like Brick Squad. His first major person was OJ the Juicy.
Hey! Okay.
With
I figured it would have been Gucci Goo, but I guess that's close enough.
yeah, he went there eventually. He got it popping.
He did get it popping. I feel like he really has that southern rap sound though with his music. Like you could
it's
just
that
tell.
trap shit.
Yeah, like that dark shit.
Yes.
Yeah, that
People
like
think that he is in a dark space because of his beats, but he be telling everybody that he not. That's just the sound that everybody wanted.
For real, I feel like he's inspired by Organized Noise, who produced for Outkast and then Outkast as well.
Outkast is from
Because they have that dark sound, you know,
Yeah.
but it's still like playerish.
What do you like about J Dilla?
I just feel like J Dilla, he's just so special. Like, he passed away from,
R.I.P.
yeah, R.I.P. to a real one.
He's special inside and out.
Yeah, and I just feel like he impacted hip-hop so much because, like, he's passed away for like 12 years now, and people are like, he still has tapes coming out. People are still using his
when he passed
material.
away, there was so many people who did tributes.
Yes, like Common did a whole album, Finding Forever, dedicated to J Dilla.
That's a dope.
So I mean, they did work close together, like as well as Erykah Badu and The Roots, A Tribe Called Quest.
Some smooth people.
Yes, that was his sound. Like he said, he just wanted his music to so people could listen to it and ride and feel free.
That's beautiful. That's the best type of music.
Exactly. You could just drive around and listen to some shit. That's
I
really
know.
Dilla. And you could just like, you listen to a track and you be like, yeah, Dilla definitely had his part in this.
What was your favorite track that he made?
Man, I don't even think I have a favorite one. Like, it's just so many. But like, Didn't You Know by Erykah Badu, The Light by Common.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
I really love that song.
Yeah, like him and Common are just a perfect match.
Common's beautiful, smooth.
Yes, real shit. And Erykah Badu too.
Yes,
They
I
just
love
match so
Erykah.
perfectly. But a lot of J Dilla's production credit, it really isn't under his name. Like, it's under the UMA,
Yeah.
which is like a collection of producers. It's got Q-Tip and Ali Shaheed Muhammad from A Tribe Called Quest, and then sometimes it includes like D'Angelo and Raphael Sadiq. So it's like, that makes him legendary right there, working with all those people.
But it's crazy because like when you switch it to now with Metro Boomin, it's just Metro Boomin.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's all it is.
Metro Boomin's legendary too.
He really is for real because he really changed the game for the whole Atlanta, like I said.
Yeah.
My favorite track with Metro Boomin. I really like the one he did with Fake.
It's okay.
I know, because I couldn't think of the album for a second. Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing, because first of all, that was like one of the biggest people that he worked with that wasn't from Atlanta.
Really? I didn't know that.
And
now that I think about it, that is true.
Yes. And he and that was like the first album where he really was like using samples, because he said it just fit Big Sean, which is true. It does fit Big Sean.
It does.
He sample with his beats.
Yeah, and that was more of a soulful sound, which fits Big Sean as well, because he's from the D, just like Jay Dilla.
So Metro Boomin the way he was doing.
Yeah,
And they said that like majority of the beats he just made like on the spot within like 10 minutes.
Wow. How does he make his beats?
Through Fruit Loops.
Fruity Loops.
Yeah, Fruity Loops. I said Fruit Loops. Same thing. No, but he started off with that when he first started, and he never changed. He said there's no point because it still works for him.
Yeah, that's true. That's wild though, because people talk mad shit about Fruity Loops.
Yeah, but look at Metro Boomin shit. Like, what can you really say?
Right. Say nothing. Metro Boomin wants some more.
Nigga. Slide that in for you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you.
Oh, man. Who was like your favorite artist? Can you pick that Jay Dilla worked with? I was gonna say best.
Probably.
That's a hard one.
That is a hard one. I want to say a try. Nah, nope. It's not hard at all.
No.
Slum Village, because it's like he was a part of Slum Village as a rapper as well, because he did rap a little bit.
You know, Metro Boomin wanted to rap, and he said he tried it, but it just wasn't for him.
Really?
He liked the producing more.
That's funny. I can't picture him rapping.
Nah, because he's like
What does
such
he
a
even
chill.
sound like?
Man, he has an accent, but it's like I can't really choose what city that you would know of like his accent is from.
Maybe it's a St. Louis accent.
Yeah, it gotta be a St. Louis accent, but it's like mixed with a little bit of Atlanta in there too.
Probably because he spent so much time there.
But he's just a real chill person. I can't see him rapping either. But
Yeah.
I mean, 21 Savage is chill. Shit.
This is true. Rock him is too.
Exactly. So,
Well, I don't know. If it's not for him, it's not for him.
yeah, you say he like producing better.
But Slum Village, like, they're really the Tribe Called Quest of the Midwest. Like, and Jay Dilla produced all their shit until, he later on split from them.
Yeah.
But, Jay Dilla, before he formed with Slum Village, he actually had this rap group with MC Fat Cat. And they were called First Down, and they were actually the first rap group from Detroit to be signed to a major label.
I did hear that he had something to do with like the first people out of Detroit.
Yeah, that's why he's so influential and has such a great impact on hip hop.
How chill he is. I don't know. When I think of Detroit, I think of like some gangsters or some pimps or something like that. You wouldn't think a chill ass person would come out of Detroit.
That's because now, like, a lot of the Detroit music is that gangster shit. But back, like, don't forget that's where Motown started.
This is true. This is true.
Like,
how can I forget?
Yeah, like, they just have, it's just soulful, but it is playerish, real playerish.
That's what I'm thinking.
Detroit
like the
players.
big fur coats. Like.
Jay Dilla was definitely a player. Don't get it twisted now.
Yeah, he
Detroit
just
player.
on the low with it.
Yeah, they said he like hardly ever talked just because he was so meticulous about everything.
That's cool. That's dope.
I know. R.I.P. to a real one again.
R.I.P. And Metro Boomin, keep doing your shit.
Yeah, but he needs to come out of retirement.
I know, man. It's been like since April, right?
Yeah, he announced it in April, but he hasn't really done nothing since the Double or Nothing
No, he
mixtape.
hasn't. Not at all. He needs. Maybe he working on something and he gonna come hard with
I
it.
don't know, man. He said he retired from hip hop. They got Billboard missing person billboards out in NYC and Atlanta for him.
He can't retire. He only like 25. It's just the beginning for him.
That should be stressful.
This is
When you
true.
gotta come out with hit after hit after hit.
That's exactly what
By
he was
yourself?
doing for a minute too.
Yeah, by yourself. I feel it.
In the last 2 years, ladies and gentlemen, stop. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen.
crazy that even though Metro and Dilla are from like 2 different time periods in hip hop, they're still like
big
just
influence.
yeah, they're still both big influences on the culture and the music.
It just really shows you how much like it changed for producers as well.
Yeah, and it shows as well like every producer is gonna be inspired by somebody before.
Right. Just like that's period with hip hop.
True. Yeah, with anything
with
really.
music, period.
Yeah. But I just feel like back then producers didn't get as much recognition as they do now. Like how Metro,
every song you hear, Metro Boomin want some more, or if
Yeah.
Metro don't trust you, I'ma shout you. You didn't hear none of that.
yeah, they didn't really have no tags back in the day. You just had to hear that unique sound. Like with Dilla, he would have offbeat drums, and like that was his signature almost. And it's like Metro is doing his own tapes. And J Dilla has his own tapes, but most of them came out after he passed away.
Right.
So it's good that it doesn't take a producer to pass away for them to get recognition they deserve.
For real, because they really make the whole song.
Yes, without them, it's
they
no
really
song.
are the songs.
They set the tone
It wouldn't
for
have been
the
like this
song.
from the beginning, but
It's
good
crazy.
that it is.
Yeah, things are changing now.
From music, going into our society topic, I have to know, how do you
I was still in the Metro.
clearly. How do you feel about the Mega Millions when it was at 1.6 billion and the winner after taxes got $913 million?
First of all, I don't understand how it's a lottery and it's 40,000 homeless people in LA alone.
Right. How is it just money out here to give away off of a game and no one is doing anything to help anybody that is homeless?
Exactly. Like if I won that 900 million, the first thing I'm doing is giving probably more than half of it away.
You can give more than half of it away and still be cool.
Yeah,
Like,
still
what are
be
you going to
cool.
do with 900 million?
I wouldn't even know. It's just crazy.
I wouldn't know at all.
Yeah,
Because I would still live a normal ass
Yeah.
life.
I would just buy a cool little house,
Yes.
a nice car. I'd have a lot of shoes. I won't lie.
I mean,
but I would still do my part and give shoes to the homeless or something of that nature.
It's just shoes, clothes, a home, like anything that I can
food.
do to help the homeless, I will. And I feel like if anything, that's what we should be using this money for in America is to help. It's like half of America's population is homeless.
Half?
Probably more than half.
That's
it's a good
wild.
75. Like it's 1.5 million people homeless.
That's so tragic, and it's just people with 5 houses out here. Not saying that that's not okay.
Yeah, like it's like
not saying the rich people owe anybody anything, but it's like at least do something, do your part.
yeah, you have rich people that's out here that's really great. Like Mayweather, for instance, he spent $2,000 on the Mega Million ticket.
What does he need to win for?
Exactly, that's just greed, and I don't understand how you can just walk around on this life and know that it's somebody that doesn't even have a roof.
They don't even have a
cold.
dollar.
They don't even have a jacket, and like. You're being greedy. And then it's like people saying, well, yeah, they don't have a dollar to their name, but go out here and get a job. But it's really hard because a job, look at what you have on.
Exactly.
Like, and they're not always clean, of course. So they don't hire them off of that. It's not just, everybody knows it's not just easy like that to get a job.
It's not like, and when you're homeless, you don't have anywhere to shower or brush your teeth so you can even look presentable for an interview. And then they're gonna look at your employment history and they're gonna say, why has it been so long since you've had a job? And they're just, people really judge homeless people before they get to know them and their story.
You really, yes, man, you really don't know what somebody could have been going through or what they're currently going through at the moment. So I just think that if everybody, at least if the government isn't doing something, that everybody can at least try to do their part. I do my part, and I'm not nowhere close to rich. So
exactly, not rich at all, but I'll still give someone $10.
And it's like, even if you don't give them money, if you sit there and you talk to a homeless person, that can really make their day. You never know what somebody would need.
And you can learn something from them as well.
They
Like,
are literally
just have a normal conversation with them.
They're really the most down to earth people. They will give you some real ass
Yes, I've heard some of my most valuable lessons from homeless people.
And that's crazy to me. But I don't know. I just feel like the government is not doing too much to really help homeless people at all.
They're not. They want to, just like people in jail, they want to act like they don't exist in society.
Man, there's so many things that the government want to act like don't exist. It's crazy. But, damn, what was I about to say? And then it's like even crazy how they have veterans out here on the street that's homeless. Like, how could you, they fought for this country and they come back and they have nowhere to stay or live. That's crazy.
Yeah, in the military, that's a whole different subject for me because the government.
You won't catch me fighting for this.
We'll talk about that later.
You will not.
We'll talk about that later. The government just, they are trash. They are a dumpster.
They really are. All they think about is money. They not for us, man. And I want people everybody to realize that one day. Because if everybody realize it and we all come together, there's nothing that they can do.
It's like when you act out of love, the universe will assist you.
My bad.
She's daydreaming.
I really have a daydreaming issue, but it's okay.
True life, I'm a daydreamer.
Right. True life, that was good.
Yeah, that was
my shit.
It was. They need to bring that back.
They do. They need to bring a lot of things back.
Right.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
MTV, get at us for good ideas.
Hey, listen, MTV, BET, VH1, y'all all used to go. I don't know what's
Right,
going on.
I don't know what happened. But anyway, getting off topic.
Super off topic.
I don't know. Speaking of government issues, education being one of the biggest ones, to me at least.
Yeah.
Like, what do you feel like could have been taught in school that would have helped you in real life?
First of all, financial stability, mental awareness.
Yeah.
Listen,
everything they didn't teach us that we need to know.
Everything that has to do with being an adult, like credit cards, being in
taxes.
college, like they didn't teach us any of that at all.
They didn't. Like,
well, not even just us. They still don't teach it.
They don't at all. And I just feel like the stuff they teach in school, it does not prepare you for life outside of school.
I don't know what it prepares you for at all.
And it especially doesn't prepare you to make a good living for yourself. Like, they don't teach you taxes. They don't teach you stocks and investments. They don't even teach you how to get a job for real. Like, they need to teach you how to write a resume, how to act in a job interview. Nothing is valuable.
No, and then it's like, they try to tell us like the importance of college. Like the only way that you can make it in life is if you go to college. But for one,
it's crazy.
For one, they don't even teach us how to like get into college or like how to handle college. And then with that, it's like so many other things out here in the world like you can make money off of other than just college.
Yeah, like literally the top 1%, like the richest people in America, they did not go to college.
That's crazy.
College is nothing but a business, another way for the government to make money, and then it drowns people in student loans. That way they can own them for life.
And then it's like even when you come out of college and you get a job in the field that you went to college for, you still see that like this shit didn't teach me too much.
Exactly.
You really had to learn from experience.
College is only for networking. You can learn anything from college on the internet or reading a book.
It's really all about networking. That's true too.
And then it's crazy how racially biased the curriculum is in school.
Yeah.
Like, it's from the point of view of white people. It doesn't teach other cultures their value or why they should feel empowered. Like, especially with black people, it teaches them only as them being victims and controlled by other people.
Yes, and I really don't understand that. Like, they really are just having us out here not knowing who we are, not knowing nothing that we came from. And I mean, of course, that's because that's how they want it. But it's just still sad to just push us out there like that.
Yeah, and I was watching this Umar Johnson interview, and he was saying, how are we gonna send our children to their oppressors to learn their life, and then when they turn 18, we got to try and remold them into being empowered.
Yes, there's so many things that needs to be redone with the school system.
Not even with just like racially biased towards Black people, like even with Asians,
Native Americans.
Yeah, they
literally
erased
took
Native
away their
Americans.
history.
Like
they really took away their history.
It's crazy, and it's just really not talked about or taught, and it's just unacceptable.
I really think to go through school is just the beginning of the government brainwashing you.
Yeah, definitely. That's exactly what it is. The racially biasness as well also sets every culture except for white people. They sets them up for failure. Like with the IQ test, is based on 4 scales: processing speed, working memory, and nonverbal reasoning. Which, okay, everybody's going to test equally in that.
Right.
But then the 4th scale for the IQ test is verbal communication, which is geared towards the definitions and vocabulary of white people.
Mm-hmm.
So when other cultures take the IQ test, they see like a dip in the verbal communication part because it's just not what they understand.
Let them know.
Yeah.
Let them know.
So it's like that 4th scale, that's gonna ruin every other culture's numbers. And Umar Johnson was saying the IQ score test is the new Jim Crow. Like they just, instead of saying whites only here, whites only there, just say, oh, your numbers don't meet the qualifications.
A lot of things that the government do is really, when they make something, they make the vocabulary tricky. They make the entire paragraph of what they're doing tricky to give us the illusion that whatever they're doing is good for us.
Exactly.
And it's not even
they're so
just
manipulative.
Yeah, and it's just like for every kid in school, everybody is different. So you can't just give all these kids one thing and think that they're about to learn it the same way as the next kid do.
Exactly. And it's wild to me that a government does not want to see their country win. They only want to see.
I really don't understand. Like
where did the disconnect start?
Right, these kids is really our future. They really are our future, and they just act like they don't care. I really don't understand.
But speaking of our future, we're starting a nonprofit organization called Restoring Our Future.
The first fundraising event will be tomorrow,
October 30th.
at Jilly's between 6 to 9. So I hope you guys show your face.
The flyer is on our Instagram if you didn't understand anything we just said.
Why wouldn't they?
Because we be talking and mumbling and I don't know.
Shut up.
But anyways.
Shut up. Don't be on that. Back to the children.
So with that, we're going to teach them basically what we just talked about: financial literacy, cultural exposure, mental awareness, and I think that brings us into our self-care topic.
Which our self-care topic today is going to be about meditation.
Yeah, meditation. So how do you, what's the most comfortable way for you to meditate? Like, what do you prefer?
I mean, I feel like just really sitting there in silence. That's really it. Because, some people like to use music or different smells or anything. Well, I do like to have, incense around when I meditate.
Yeah, smells help a lot, like essential oils.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes I think it's good to, have a window open so I can hear, the breeze and nature and things like that. Because nature really always clears your mind.
Yeah, with the books that we read, it really emphasizes that you should meditate in nature and spend time in nature, just because nature is just it's earth.
Nature
you feel so powerful, and
I feel like nature is what the entire world is supposed to be like, including humans. Nature is really free. It's peaceful. Free. They got food out there.
They're in the moment. They're not worrying about what's gonna happen in 10 minutes or what happened yesterday.
Yeah, and when we mean they, of course, we're talking about the animals.
Yes, the animals and the bugs and whatnot.
All they can do is
the trees.
All they can do is focus on the moment, and that's meditation wants
Yeah,
you
that's
to
the
do.
whole point of meditation.
Yeah, people think
is
when
to
you
be in the moment.
Yeah, when people think when you get into meditation, you're just supposed to have no thoughts. That's not how it's supposed to
No.
be. You're just supposed to accept whatever
Yeah,
thoughts is
and
going
let
through
them
your mind.
pass.
Yeah, don't get too deep. Like, don't. What's the word?
Don't let it become you.
Yeah, like don't get stuck in that one thought. You gotta think about it, understand why you are thinking that way,
Yeah.
and let that thought go and follow it up with something positive.
Exactly, and then just bring your focus back to the breath, because that's the main thing that helps you remain in the moment.
Yep.
And then if you're a visual
Visual thinker.
oh yes, if you're a visual thinker, a visualizer, then one visualization you can use in meditation, like to help you. So annoying.
Was there a part?
She tried to play footsie.
Bye.
But anyway, one visualization you can use to help you watch your thoughts is imagine yourself just sitting at a beach, a calm beach, and then the thoughts are your waves. Each wave is different. Each wave only lasts a second or so.
Exactly.
And then, you just watch them pass.
Some of those some of those waves may be rough from the storm, but
Exactly.
it always gets
It
to
always-
a calm ending.
Exactly. And that's the beautiful thing about meditation. And I feel like, a lot of people too, they get the misunderstanding that you have to sit still to meditate.
Mhm.
Like I've talked to a couple people and suggested them to meditate, and they said, I don't want to be still for that long. I'm saying, well, there are meditations for exercise. You can walk and meditate. You can run
If you
and
just
meditate.
literally
Yoga.
just focus on your breathing.
Like that's the main point of focus that you need to
Right.
have to meditate.
when you realize that you're stuck in this thought, just breathe in and just
Exactly.
let that shit pass.
Just focus on where you feel the breath.
Why is we fucking up so much?
We can't talk today.
We can't. It's cool though.
Yeah, but just focus on where you feel the breath, like that rising and falling sensation that you have in your
When
body.
you feel when you breathe out, you feel your body come like to an ease,
Exactly.
a soft spot.
And if you need a little help, there's guided meditation all on YouTube, or we started with this app called Headspace, which is amazing because they have different programs pretty much for
They
like
have,
relationships,
anxiety,
depression.
Even when kids, they got a sports meditation, communication.
They have
That's a good
meditation for
one.
kids too.
Yeah.
Instill this in your children.
Yeah.
That way they can be aware and conscious
Aware
adults.
of their emotions. That is the biggest thing. You gotta
Yes.
start a child when they're young
You
to
really
understand their emotions so they can know how to express it and they won't let it take them over.
Exactly. Like we have to raise our children to be better adults than what we all were. You know?
Yes, of course.
And then eventually maybe it'll just spread all over the world and it'll be peace and love.
It will. Eventually, I definitely have faith. You have people out there that's like us that
Yeah,
want to
light
help and
workers.
just plant that seed, and
That's all you gotta do
eventually,
is plant the seed.
eventually things will get better.
Yeah. So join us in some conversation, answer some of the questions that we asked each other today. Post comments, subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at untitled.1994, and we'll see you soon.
Imagine somebody having $32 million. $32 million. And this person has nothing. And you can sleep. You can still go to the movies and then these are the type of people that get humanitarian awards. Millionaires. How can they be humanitarians? By the fact that they millionaires and there's so many poor people shows how unhumane they are. You know what I'm saying? And that bugs me. Not